Hey there guys, what's up? Welcome back to another MineZ video. I'm going to be showing y'all how to do the Eye of Darkness questline. We're going to be starting here at Fire Spire, and this questline is a three-part questline. There's three different locations you've got to go to in order to complete it. And this first one, we're going to start here at Fire Spire. So we're going to go ahead and try and do this parkour. And the parkour isn't necessarily the most challenging, but it is a little bit sketchy, so you want to make sure that you're bringing at least some feather fallings if you care about your items, or if you don't because it's so far down south, you can just run up completely naked and just do it with nothing. But this is probably the hardest jump in the dungeon. It's just a 3-1 up. So if you fail it, you just fall a little bit down. You won't probably die from it, but you can still recover. And we're here because we need one special item, and that is the Old Gnawed Bone. This bone is the item that we need to take to Asindia Ruins, which will be the second part. So I'm going to show you all the rest of the parkour, but it's really not that hard. For this jump, you want to actually jump to the side, and then you'll just keep making way up, and you're here. You'll just want to keep looting these chests and making sure that you're going to find that Old Gnawed Bone, because it is a pretty low chance to find. And these are the fire prot chest plates. These are unique to this location. Alright, so there we have it. We got the Old Gnawed Bone, a very old bone. Maybe an archaeologist could help. This is part of that path of the Eclipsed, which is also just the Eye of Darkness path. And so with this, we're going to be taking this to the archaeologist dig site. That is that little hint that you get on there. And so in order to leave this location, what we're going to do is we're just going to come out to the very edge here, and we're going to jump really far out. And I'll see y'all at Archaeologist Dig Site. Alright guys, what's up? We're at Archaeological Dig Site, and we're going to be doing the next part of this dungeon. It is the Asindia Ruins dungeon, which is also where the Gatestone recharge mechanic is, but we are not going to be doing that this time. What we're going to be doing is entering with this Old Gnawed Bone, and we're going to be taking a separate path, so that way we can convert it into the next part of this. Now, this is the way if you want to go to the recharge mechanic for the Gatestones, but this is the way that we're going to be going to do the bone. So you're going to actually want to go in here. So then you're going to want to come through here and right over here, and this is where you're going to be doing this part with the particles. There's this little guy right here who we're going to kill. Okay, this is a little bit new. Whew. He does quite the bit of damage. What I personally like to do is get up here. It's a bit of a safe spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw the Old Gnawed Bone here, and then we're going to get into the safe spot very quickly. And then we're just going to shift, and as soon as that thing spawns, you just want to shoot it at your toes, and it dies just like that in one hit. I believe it has like the hitbox of one of those endermites, but it's not very hard, and there we go, we get the Eclipsed Map. So with this Eclipsed Map, we're going to go to the Eclipsed Ruins, and we're going to go do the dungeon there. Hey there guys, I'm at Eclipsed Ruins right now. We're going to be going ahead and finishing this Eclipsed path. We're going to be going into the instance here, and I will be showing you all the rest of the dungeon. So the rest of the dungeon you're going to access by putting this Eclipsed Map right there, and that lets you enter the dungeon, so you can enter it for each map that you have. So if you fail the dungeon, or if you succeed, you'll need another map in order to do this dungeon again. So for this first part, we're going to see the unique mechanic of this dungeon, which are these slime walls. When you push up against a slime wall, it gives you levitation, and as long as you're touching these red sand brick walls up here, then you will be fine, and it'll keep giving you levitation. However, if you were to go onto a half slab one, like over here, you see the half slab? That will take away your levitation, you will fall into the lava, and you will die. So don't do that. Instead, we're going to stay on the full blocks, and that's the path that we're going to go. So we're going to go all the way here, And as you see, those were all full blocks. If we went over there, we would fall and die. So next I'm going to continue over here to this area. We're going to get restuck, and we're going to come along here. And I like to go into third person, so that way I can check which path is the correct one. And so we go over here, and then we are going to go just straight forward, and then to the right. This next part, you're going to want to make sure that you're not standing on these end stone bricks, because as you'll see here, ow, that does a lot of damage. So don't do that. We're going to parkour onto these sandstone areas. And then we'll hit this. We'll go into the main room. And now there's two different paths that you can take. There's this route right here, which is the same sort of thing that we did over there with the putting your head on top of there and then making your way over the lava. And then there's this one over here. And we're going to start here at this one. These are the hot sands. You touch the hot sands right there, you'll start to take some damage. And we're waiting for this pattern exactly right here, so we can parkour up to there. Alright, so we've made it up here. We're going to go ahead and toss a garbage item out there. Make sure you're not shooting those, because if you shoot it, the arrows will go away eventually. And we're going to stand right here, and we're going to wait for this one to pop up. And then you can take your time a little bit, but not too much. If you fall, here's what you're going to do. You're going to jump here, and you don't have to do it all over again. Like so. Once we get up here, we can toss in a garbage arrow. And now we will come over here. And we are going to wait for this one right here to jump up. And there we go. So this part is now done once we've tossed in the last arrow. And then these sands are going to stop spawning. Once they stop spawning, that means for sure you're good to go. And now we can go to the next portion of this. Now this next portion, I'd recommend just having a fire res just in case you fail, because then you won't die, you can just log out. But we're going to go ahead and go up here. And then we're going to follow this, and we're going to make sure that we're watching where the half slabs are. We're not going to where the half slabs are. For this one, there is a half slab there, so what we're going to do is just kind of like momentum go fast, like that. Because it'll drop you off if you're not going fast, you're just going to fall in the lava. Now what we're going to want to do is go here, and we're going to want to just kind of go a little fast and then break to the left, like that. And then you can't go over here, even though it is, incredibly close. I wish I could, but there's a half slab, you'll fall and die if you do that. You're going to come all the way down here, and you also can't go right here, you got to take a left or else you'll die. And then here, we're just going to sprint forward. And we're going to recode ourselves like so. And then for this one, you're going to want to angle yourself kind of to the left, so that way when you drop off, you're dropping off there. Like that. And then I'd recommend shifting so you can actually, fully make it. And then for this one, you're going to want to angle yourself to right in that corner. Like that. Because if you just go forward, you're not going to make it to this part. You'll just fall and die. And then for this one, don't just run forward, because there is this gap here. You won't make that. You just have to go to the side a bit. And then we are here. This is the very last pressure plate. We're going to go ahead and toss an arrow in. And once that is done, we can come over here, and we're going to backtrack. And instead of going back that way, which is the long way, we're actually going to go back here. So we're just going to go ahead and run over here, and then parkour back. And it is much, much faster. So once you're done, you will come back to this main room and you see these particles. These particles are good. That means that we've done both parts and they are completed. So once you are ready, you will go ahead and step on those particles and begin the boss fight. For this boss fight, I would highly recommend having a Smite 3 sword with knockback. It doesn't have to have knockback, but the knockback makes it way, way, way better. Alright, and with that, we're going to begin this boss fight. So with this boss fight, you're going to want to put him in a corner. If you can get him in a corner, he won't be able to spawn as many zombies. And then when he does, they'll be all, like, together. This guy also can spawn pigmen, so you gotta be very careful and make sure that you're keeping your health up. Because he can quick drop you if the pigmen explode right in your face. And then jumping crits him out. And there we go. That is pretty much it. And now, the dungeon is currently confirmed to be bugged. Usually there's supposed to be the Eye of Darkness, the main legendary, which is going to drop from the middle. It didn't actually drop, so instead we're just going to pretend like this little crafter's block, like that's what the Eye of Darkness looks like. It's just a player head, and it has, you know, an eyeball look to it, and it'll just drop right there in the middle, and then you can pick up your epic loot. Wow, so epic. You can even wear it if you want, and then we can come over here. And we've got the loot chest for this dungeon, some half-decent loot. But this is the other main legendary that you get. It's the Spike Thrower. This used to be a retired legendary. When you pull it back and you shoot it, it hits the player and it scatters 10 different arrows around in a circle. And it is pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much the rest of this dungeon. And thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you.